Hello, everybody. So right now it's 10:30, so it's time for us to begin and to continue our Sales and Marketing Breakthrough Week Volume 3. For those of you here right here, so my name is Wesley and we have my co-host for today. Lawrence, you want to say hi to our friends?
Hi, everybody. Again, I always forget this is the number one MCO,
Yeah.
and I do not know again how many live we have done so far. So again, thank you so much for everybody who are supporting us until today.
All right, so here we have today, so it's the very first, this is not the first and second time that we have four of us here today. So we have Zevin and Charles. Zevin and Charles, will say hi to our friends.
Hello, hi
Hello
guys.
everyone.
I'm
Hi.
Zevin from DMC.
Hi, I'm Charles from DMC.
All right, so we have two of them here today as our guest speakers. We're going to talk about business digitalization, easy steps on how we can do so. So just before we officially start, I want to say thank all of you here to say thank you to all of you for joining today. And I would like to invite all of you here to also like and share this video so it can benefit many more people out there, especially today. It comes in so timely to help us to digitize our business. And again, I always struggle. So digitize is such a mouthful word, right? To help us to turn our business go digital. So that's why help us to like and share so it can benefit many more people here today. All right, and just do a very quick shout out. We have Charles and Zevin here from Digital Marketing Consultancy. So for those of you here, Stephen is here saying hi to all of us. So Stephen is here saying hi. Would you want to say hi to Stephen?
Hi,
Hi,
Steven.
Steven.
All right, Stephen is here, so I'm checking all over different Facebook page and all. So again, so perhaps before we officially start, Zevin, Charles, would you want to just quickly introduce yourself to our friends watching here today?
All right, I'm Charles, and I'm the CEO of Digital Marketing Consultancy. What we do and what we are good at and focus on is digital marketing training. So it's very timely today where people need to go digital, and we have been doing this for the last 4 years. It's not something that we pivot to do it, but we are doing it for the past 4 years. And together with me is my partner also, Zavin.
Yep. So, hey guys, I'm Zevin and I'm Charles' partner. So together we actually run DMC, right, Digital Marketing Consultancy. Personally, to add on a little bit, I'm also at the same time Alibaba.com certified lecturer and also Alibaba Business School Global E-commerce Talents certified lecturer as well.
All right, good. Thank you very much for having both of you on the show here today. We are very honored and proud. And also, for those of you watching right now, so please say hi to us. I know that you're watching this right now from wherever that you are. And once again, help us to like and share so that we can benefit many more people out there as well. All right, so I'm just curious, right, Zevin, so you talk about Alibaba certified trainer. So would you mind to elaborate more about this?
Okay, I'm actually dual certifications. One is Alibaba.com, which is the one that most of the times people are familiar with, meaning to say the Alibaba B2B platform. Okay, is where they actually trade, business to business, right? The other ones, I'm currently also Alibaba GET lecturer. GET stands for the full-term Global E-commerce Talent. It's actually under a subsidiary entity by Alibaba. It's called Alibaba Business School, whereby this entity itself, they are actually focusing on driving digital entrepreneur to help a business, especially on the second generation or perhaps individuals that trying to become an entrepreneur, tapping into the digital world itself. Yep.
Okay, so just thank you very much. And again, so we got friends saying hi to you. Got Charles here. Oh, Charles, you're very fast. I just met you like just after 10:30, right? Charles here saying hi to all of you. All right. Also another Charles here.
Another Charles.
Charles Lee. Okay, and again, so Lawrence, you want to ask anything?
Yeah, of course. I've heard about this Alibaba training thing from Charles and Zevin for some time. They actually have went through very thorough and very difficult training. They have to even take exam, and they actually have to fly all over to China. Maybe you want to tell us how many people are such a kind in Malaysia?
In Malaysia itself, together we actually have three of us. It's the very first batch in Malaysia. We are the only public institutions appointed by Alibaba Business School. So meaning to say, other than DMC, the rest is actually first tier university. Like for example, Sunway University and also TA. Yeah, but DMC is the only one in Malaysia as a private institution appointed. And currently in Malaysia, we are three of us, me, myself, and also Chacha and Wan Li. We are actually the appointed first batch of Alibaba certified lecturer.
Yeah, congratulations. I will definitely not get it because I'm half banana. So I think I'm not as. I think Wesley was lah. Wesley is full banana, almost
Yeah.
full. So Charles, you want to tell us a little bit about DMC? Actually, how old is DMC? Actually, until today, I still have yet to understand fully about DMC. So how have you started, and what actually you of course you started way back when a lot of people realized how important digital marketing is. So tell us what made you start this, and how long is DMC?
The DMC is about 4 years old this year, and we started basically in Magic. That time, long time ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, Magic was starting to go into digitalization, yeah. And what happened was they wanted a digital marketing trainer, so they request for proposal RFP throughout the whole Malaysia, and many people were bidding about it. I remember during the process where I had to go through so many interview session with people, yeah, and we managed to get it. And from there, it actually boosted our career. And then I met Zavin in Magic also, where it just boosted things. So people say, hey, can you do more of this training, more and more? And it became, not to say a plan training, we just like got into it because the timing was correct. And during that time, I think probably we were doing I think the only one, certification digital marketing during that time. And up to today, I don't think many people are still doing digital marketing certification, a full course or certification program. And that's where we started. And we focus on a lot of hands-on practicality because we also are business owner that services clients in digital marketing. So we know when we share things, it is not just theory, but it's basically all our experience combined together to become a course structure. And from there, that's why we evolve, and up to now, we are still evolving in DMC. Yes.
Yeah. To some of our audience out there, actually, to those who remember, actually, we had Charles previously with us, who also shared a little bit about what is happening in this ecosystem. And we also previously had one of your partner, Kelly, that also shared some of some tricks as well going online. So,
Yes.
but today, yesterday night had a discussion with Charles. I said that since you are coming to that end of MCO, hopefully. But I feel that it's still a very wide topic, very big topic that even I myself, I still don't know what I'm doing, in terms of digitalization for School of Life and even for Printis, right? So maybe you want to tell us a little bit about, when you started 4 years ago and you started, and today, of course, more people understand the importance of it. So how are people finding digital marketing more important now?
Digital marketing is just part of it, like I mentioned, when you go online, when you go to digital, right? But right now, most companies, managements, I'm getting a lot of inquiries from big companies, huge companies, conglomerates, and they say that, hey, I need to change the business structure. And what is happening is simply because this is a force to stay at home. So a lot of management are saying that maybe I don't want to fire my team, or not many people I want to let go, but I want to reskill them and upskill them in terms of how to do digital. So it's not more of a digital marketing. It's a very important part of the sales funnel, I would say, but they are more towards the business structure on how to go online, on how to leverage the technology to grow their business. Because if today retail cannot open and things are not moving, how do we leverage on online? So that is what a lot of businesses are asking.
Just to add on also, right, we do see there's actually a shift in terms of the demand. So when we first started DMC, a lot of people, they are still not very aware of the importance of digital marketing. So we actually need to go through a lot of educations to tell them why digital marketing is actually, crucial, is important to them. And I think right after 2 years that we actually set up DMC itself, we started to see that the demand is actually increasing. people are the one that come to us by saying that, hey, we actually need digital marketing. Can you guys help us? And a big shift right now is because of MCO as well, because of like what Charles mentions, that a lot of businesses, they can't actually operate offline, and they can't do offline marketing, right? So they realize that the only channel for them right now is actually tapping it into online, because everyone is actually staying at home, and the only thing they can do is to check out Facebook. They are on internet. They are basically online. Yeah. So we are looking at, even right after MCO, the demands of engaging digital marketing will be much more even higher.
All right. So interesting. So you talk a lot about the importance of digital marketing. So I think even the first time when we have Kelly here, then we have Charles here today, so you talk about the importance of it. And that's exactly why here today we want to address more in terms of the steps on how we can use easy steps in terms of turning our business digital, which is exactly why we are here today, right? Okay, so perhaps we're going to have the next session here where you're going to help us to share with us some easy steps to turn our business go digital. So Lawrence, shall we do it?
Sure.
All right. So Lawrence and me are going to excuse ourselves. We're going to pass the stage to Charles and Kevin, and you're going to share with us again. So the topic here today is easy steps in terms of digitalization. And for those of you here, business owners, I want to interact with you. So how many of you here that you are currently a business owner? Perhaps you can drop the word yes at the side. So perhaps you can read out some of the comments later as well. Okay, so shall we, Lawrence? Okay, so Devin and Charles, we're going to come back shortly. So the stage is yours.
Okay.
All right, sure. Okay. So just do a screen check, yeah? Y'all can see the screen, right? Let me just make sure. All right, so I will share the strategies, and Zavin will help me or help everyone to give you some real life examples, so that it'll be easier for us to understand. Yeah. So I've broken into 5 proven strategies in digital transformation framework. And number 1, you need to be the authority. What do I mean by the authority? It simply means that you need to be an expert or the person in your field that who the people will go to. For example, yeah, if let's say we're talking about sales training, we go to Wesley. If let's say we're talking about live events, you can go to Perintis. If you're talking about digital marketing, you can go to DMC. So people need to associate your products to your brand. And how you do that is by being the authority. And how you be an authority is not to claim yourself as number 1. You really need to show a lot of content. And this is something that everybody must do, or going to be focusing on doing contents, because that is the main thing that businesses should do today, just focusing on content. Yeah. So before I go into number 2, maybe I can ask Zavid, what kind of content can we create if you want to be an authority today?
Okay, when we are talking of content, it's more towards informative contents online, yeah? So actually, regardless which industry that you are at, definitely you are the expertise within your industry itself, right? So at the same time, we are looking at, you can actually share some small tips and informations to your audience itself. So just giving you as an examples, right? If we are talking of like, let's say, the current ones that's being hit a lot is basically the retails, right? So if we were to say and put up examples of like restaurant, okay, restaurant as an traditional retail, how do you guys actually able to actually give some information in terms of the content itself? Content can vary from a lot of different areas, right? And people are talking of like in during MCO, during this coronavirus, we need to make sure that whatever that we consume need to be safe. Yeah. So how are we able to actually make sure that our foods, there's no germs, all these informations, right? And people have been sharing on the internet itself in terms of like, how do you cook at home? In terms of like, the temperature, how high the temperature you need to go so that you can kill all the germs. All these is basically small tips that you can give and advise to the people, right? And also at the same time, a lot of people also, if from property industry also another big niche that's was currently hit during MCO itself. A lot of things can't be done. And a lot of the agents, they are actually also shifted to online to do a virtual, like a housing tour. And they are also giving out a lot of talk in terms of, like, for example, sharing with people how to invest in property information again, okay? And also at the same time to share with people in terms of refinance your property as well. Again, you are actually also giving information itself. Yeah. So when we are talking of content, we are not looking at selling our product to build an authority, but we are actually coming up with the ideas of, like, what kind of content you can actually add value to your community, and yet at the same time, giving out informations, values to your audience from that. Okay, so but we are not focusing in terms of like selling the product, selling the services. No, we are adding value to your audience.
Yeah. So thanks, David. So the second part in your business, if you want to go online or you want to survive during this crisis, you need to have a business model. Yeah. So last time, even though we are teaching digital marketing at DMC, we are very physical. People need to come to the class, and our strength is actually hands-on practice. And how do we do that online? So we actually managed to pivot the whole thing. And not only that, we managed also to come out a subscription model where we build an e-learning platform. Not only that, we just also comes out to see what the market needs in terms of, we do have apps now, we do have live training, we do have recorded training. So from one business model, we have pivoted into 3 and 4. And that is where you need to have a different type of business model. So subscription. So you may be asking me, so Charles, if I'm doing food business or I'm doing physical product, how can I do subscription? Google it. When you Google it, you'll see how that people sell clothes, people sell tie, people sell man shavers, people sell food on a subscription business model. So you can actually do that. And subscription business model is one of the best, most beautiful model in the world. Simply like Celcom uses it, Netflix uses it, all the big giant uses it. Why not you come out something that people are willing to pay? So I will take Zervin's two examples just now, property and food. So I give you food. You can bundle like last time, long time ago, people had Teen Career where they actually send to you, deliver. So that is a business model by itself. Let's talk about property. So property, how do you do? So I'm not asking you to, people will pay you money to, buy property every month. Nobody will do that, right? But what if you can give information to, let's say, people who wants to invest, people who wants to have first-time home buyer, people who want to sell houses. So when you have a membership subscription where content, network, at the same time, collect membership fee, just to give and target these people, you can have multiple groups of people. At the same time, you can also cross-sell, because if a group wants to buy and a group wants to sell, but they're separated, you as the middle person, you can group them together. Why not? So there's a lot of business model that you can do, and you have to just change. So in DMC also, we completely just wipe out, not to say wipe out, we wipe out a physical thing, but we did it online. And not only that, I think maybe Zervin, can you share what other income stream that we have developing and going to develop?
Okay, because a lot of businesses also facing the same problems, but during MCO, before MCO, they have been focusing on one income stream itself, right? So it could be active income that you guys has been generating. But what happens when you hit MCO or all these kind of like situations raise, right? You are no longer able to continue operates as per how your normal you operates normally, right? So this is the time that your income will be affected. And you will need to actually find out additionals and multiple different income sources, where some of the incomes, this is what we call, don't put all the eggs into one basket, right? When one gonna hit, then after that you have no more income streams ready. But what we are looking at over here is more towards to diversify your income stream. And some, it can be active income, some, it can be passive income. So the one that we are looking at over here to build for DMC ourselves alone, other than the active incomes that we are looking at, passive income, this is what we are referring to. One time you set up the system already, okay? As long as you set up the system, and right after that, right, on a monthly basis, you doesn't need to require to do too much of the active work, but yet your business will be able to operate automatically by itself. So this is the part that we are looking at in terms of the passive income, okay? So certain things that you guys will be more familiar with, if let's say, like, for example, if you happen to go into some of the website, okay, give you a very straightforward examples, a newspaper website, like The Star, Malaysia Kini, this kind of websites, right? When you go into this kind of website, it's purely just content based. There's no product per se they're actually selling, okay? But it's all information itself, right? But how do this kind of website is actually making money from that? They are earning money based on the advertisement, okay? When you go into the website, you'll be able to see some on top, on the right, there's actually banners around, and that's the moments that they are actually making money from that. But for whatever business that we are talking over right here, the main thing still, it comes back to whether or not your business online, your website's online, is there any traffic, people visiting your website? So that's still the main key of digital marketing. You need to make sure that you actually generate traffic to your online business.
Yeah, so I'll give you one more, right? My print is, it's event company, but we cannot do event probably in the next 6 to 1 year, right? 6 months to a year. So how can we change? There's a lot of people outside there that is struggling, that event management all can do. So very simple, very simple. Basically, if you can't do events on offline, you can do events online. And you can actually get a lot of speakers together. We call it live submit. And what you can do, you can charge a very small fee. But right now, you don't have to pay for expenses of the hotel. You don't have to pay expenses for food. Yeah, you can charge people 30, 50, 100 ringgit for 2 days, 3 days training, live submit, getting a lot of people. And if you get like 1,000 people, there's also 100,000 sales in a particular moment. So that is how we change. And that is where, when I want to talk also about number 3, where you talk about digitizing your business model, because if you have the salespeople on the internet, if you have the follow-up team on the internet, if you have everything on the internet, then you no longer need the physical world in a way. If you think about it, yeah, because a lot of businesses, if you have completely changed your business on the internet, you can build all this on the internet. So that is why we call subscription. One of the easiest business model is to go subscription, where you charge people monthly for a small fee. Yeah. All right. So I think I'll cover number 4 very quickly now, because this is something that a lot of businesses don't do, and I also see that this is one of the biggest mistakes why people are struggling. Now, let me just explain to you what do I mean by build a network around your business. You see, once you have a network, it's one of the most powerful things that you can have in your business model. You know why? Because a lot of people are like this. A lot of businesses are like this. For example, end of the day, end of the month, they'll be focusing on their products, on the services. Hey, how much sales do I have? How much inventory do I need to buy? What are the most profitable training, every month? And they will talk about products, they will talk about services, but I've never seen or any heard people ask, hey, who are the buyers? Who actually bought from you? Hey, who actually buy from this product? Meaning, the customers are not important at all to the business. But if you think and see, in a business, which one is more important? The inventory or the people, the business, the customers? And that is where the whole businesses has to change their mindset, completely pivot everything to focus on the consumers, on the customers, yeah? So that is what I mean by building a network around them. And from there, of course, there's so many things that you can benefit from having a network. Maybe Zubin, you want to share some benefits of having a network around your business?
Yeah, before I go into benefit, perhaps I can give you guys an example, especially for traditional retail business, right? Retail, this is how we do our business in terms of people walking into your retail shop, and you sell the products, and they make a payment and they go, right? But right now there's actually a term called O2O, online to offline. Okay, and at the same time, we are looking at a model on how you can actually first create the network and community is via your offline customer. Online customer, very easy. Online customer, when people come to your website, they make a purchase, definitely you will receive their contact information. But what about offline? For those of you, if you are running a offline retail business, whenever daily basis, there's so many people coming in, going out and buying things from you, right? How many times that you guys actually ask, can you leave your contact number with us, so that the next time if we are having a promotions, or we have some I don't know, special offers, things like that, so that we can actually push the notification to you. Majority of the offline retail, they are actually not doing it. Very straightforward. It's how, when the moments that you're going into shopping mall, right, and you go around and you walk into all those stores and see all the salesperson, they basically are not doing this, that. And this is some things that we are looking at. So you are actually losing out a very, very, very big opportunity, because these are your also active customers that interested in your product. That's why they will be going in and walking into your retail. It's just that it could be during that particular moment, they couldn't find anything that they are interested with, but it doesn't mean that in the future they can't find any. Yeah. So this is some things that we are looking at, not to talk about like the benefit itself, but you guys need to see what are the things that can be done from that. And we are looking at just a small changes towards how we are running the business offline, and you'll be able to see, a very good, pickup and traction from there when you are digitalize your business.
So a simple thing, let's talk a little bit about technical, right? When you have a customer's database, when you collect your customer database offline and not online, how can we leverage the offline to online? Maybe you want to talk about this a little bit using Facebook, using Google.
You mean how or how long?
No, how? That means you can use a database on remarketing.
Okay. It's
Talk
very
about that.
interesting. Okay, because on Facebook itself, you can actually run very, very targeted ads to your audience. Okay, so when the moments that you collected, the database included two types of information here. One type of information is definitely their contact number. Second is the email. So what happened is that Facebook will actually match the database that you submitted to Facebook and see that whether or not this user is actually a Facebook user. Yep. So if Facebook already did all the filters and everything and found that, hey, this is a group of people, let's say, you submitted 1,000 emails and contact number, okay? So in Facebook database, Facebook only successfully matched about, let's say, 800, okay? So you will be able to target these 800 people on Facebook. So what you can actually do is that you can actually do a very, very targeted advertisement and towards to these people by just saying that, hey, I know that last week you actually came to our retail shop at Mid Valley, and things like that, right? And we realized that you actually couldn't get the things that you want. But right now we actually have, on all these new category coming out, or new products coming out, or new offers coming out. Would you like to get one from there? So it will be very, very personalized and very, very targeted, because you know exactly what activities they have done before, and you can actually target them but you need to make sure that you profile your customer. Profile your customer in terms of like you might need to know when they come to your shop, whether or not it's in terms of their gender, what kind of products do they like, their demographics, age, or perhaps their profession a little bit as well. Yeah, so that it actually gives you a better understanding of what your customer need. Okay, then only you recommend them the things that they want and the things that they need. Yeah. So one way of doing it is via advertisement from Facebook or Instagram and things like that. Second way we are looking at with the database itself, you can actually do two things. Additional two things. Yeah. One, you can actually do on email marketing to them. Okay, to share with them same things, your new promotions, your upcoming products and things like that, right? And on the second, if you have their direct contact numbers, it's either that you can actually do WhatsApp push notification, or you can either do SMS notification to them as well. But SMS notification, it requires you to purchase the credits online. So before you're able to actually, send them the SMS directly.
Okay. So number 5 is basically leverage on network, employees, distributors, and also competitors. You can work with them. So basically, it's like this, For example, right now you want to tap into another network. I'm a businessman. A lot of people outside there also are businessmen. They will ask why I should help you. Very straightforward, right? But if I have a network of 2,000, 3,000 people, and I say that, hey, I got a network that might be interested in you, would you like to exchange network? Would you like to cross-promote network? Would you like to work together to certain projects? Then you become more valuable, because if you're a lone person, one business or two business with a team, and you don't have a network around you, it becomes very not so attractive. So this one I think is very self-explanatory. I will go a little bit more detail into the how-tos today, because today is one of the exact moments how we're going to share things here. So I'm going to break into two funnels. A lot of us always talk about sales funnel, and I'm going to break the sales funnel into two categories. So If you are a high ticket item, meaning that you need an appointment to sell. Basically, I just want to break it into two. One is appointment to sell. One is I put on the marketplace. It can be sold. Does it make sense to you? So appointment usually is a high ticket item, like a car, a property, a trading. Yeah, things that probably 200, 300 ringgit, where you need a lot of explanation to make a sales. Maybe a beauty product of 500 ringgit. Yeah, and this is the high ticket item, and this is the next one will be the lower ticket item that you can put in the marketplace. So I was just going to share this a little bit with you and give you some hints and strategies on how you can do it very quickly in 5 minutes each. So 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there. So before MCO, after MCO, how we do things today is quite similar, right? You still need to attract the people. You still need to, have the awareness stage and things like that. Before you can sell to them, you have all the awareness stage. But today on the internet, we can do it. We have KOL, key opinion leaders. We have our social search, Google SEO. Yeah, we learn about this, and we also have a lot of content as a authority, as the person that has a lot of authority in your field. You need to have a lot of content, and of course, one of the best ways also is to use ads. Ads today is amazingly cheap. Yeah, if you want to invest in Facebook ads, Google ads today is amazingly cheap. Zavin, can you share why is it so cheap today?
One of the reason it could be back then there's a lot of retail again is in operations, right? And now all these retail cannot run anymore. So they, even though they are running on ads, no point for them to actually continue to run the ads, because when they get customers, the customer can't actually go to their retail to claim the offer or to claim the promotion itself, right? So there's a lot of companies is actually stop the ads. So that's one reason. So in a sudden, right, the competition, the demands of people advertising online suddenly drop by a lot. So when there's very little people is advertising, definitely in terms of the advertising rate become cheaper. That could be the first reason. Second reason, at the same time, Facebook actually did release some news and things like that, updates, right? Talking of because of MCO, things like that, they will actually also would like to help out, all those business owner, SME and things like that. So it could be one of the reasons as well. They didn't really officially announce that, but it could be one of the reasons that they actually adjusted the advertisements rate, so that's to encourage more people to actually advertise. And also at the same time, for those people that yet to advertise, haven't tried on Facebook ads before, this is actually a good time for you to use a very minimal budgets, right, to start advertising and to start to experience on Facebook ads itself. Yeah.
Correct. And also Facebook is talking about Facebook grant, but I don't think it's available in Malaysia yet. But
in Malaysia yet. Yeah.
not yet, yeah, correct. Okay. So the next thing, which we don't want to make the same mistakes that the retails or a lot of businesses did, so that every time before we start to market or to sell something, we need to make them register. So landing page, Google form, WhatsApp, the platform you can use. If you want to use free, you can register to your WhatsApp. It takes a little bit more time to track, but it's okay. You can also use Google form. Or what we can do is also called landing page, where it's a specific product or services that you want to promote. Use this first. So this is for high ticket closing item, where we need to collect information first. So not necessarily people buy today, but you can always follow up in the next day, the next week, in the next month. But if you don't have a database that is targeted to you, it's going to be very difficult. So whatever marketing, please make sure that you collect the database before you start marketing to understand the needs. The database is not for you to spam. The database is for you to understand the needs, the right things to ask, the right things to help the businesses to understand, to bring them from point A to point B. Yeah. So last time, again, I think I mentioned a little bit about this. People do event. We cannot do event today. We can do live event. We can do webinars. We can do Zoom. We can do cold calls. Sorry, not cold calls. Call videos. Yeah. Last time we used to have meeting. We used to have phone communication. Today, we have meeting, but it's all online. We do have a follow-up. Definitely, you need to follow up with the people. Definitely, you need to follow up. How do we follow up today? Again, we use Zoom meeting. We can use StreamYard. I think Zavin mentioned a little bit about the targeted, where we can use remarketing, retargeting. Yeah, all these things to target these people again with our ads. Yeah, we can also use content. And of course, payment system. Instead of cash today, we have so many online payment gateways here. Um, I think I no need to mention the payment gateways. There are so many. Uh, Today, we are so comfortable with online QR code payment, things like that. Yeah. So this is for the high ticket items, more towards appointment-based sales. You can't run far from this. This is the funnel. This is a sales funnel that we have to go into it. So I will talk a little bit about retail and e-commerce. Basically, it's the stages is still there. Before MCO, after MCO, friend recommend friend, same thing. Yeah, friend recommend friend is one of the most powerful marketing in the world. Recommendation by a friend, but I rarely see business have the inbuilt system in their business for people to recommend people. Zavin, you want to talk about this a little bit? Affiliate system.
Exactly, because again, one example that I always use is still, my industry never changed, restaurant. Because there's too many restaurant company that came to us recently asking us, like how they can actually tap into the online things, right? But one main thing, think about it, whenever there's a pre-MCOs, right? Or even now, whenever it's that we are actually having our lunch or our dinner, if you happens to actually go to some restaurant, and what happened is when the moment that the food served, when the food was being served, right? What do? We don't straight away go and eat, right? We will ask everyone to stop. Let me take a picture first. This happen regardless you are, you're a guy or you're a girl, okay? Back then we thought that this is something a girl's thing, right? Girls always take picture first, but now the guy is the one that say, hey, I want to take a picture also. But the moment that you took that picture and you post on Instagram and you post on Facebook, does the restaurant actually pay you a single cent to do that? The restaurant basically didn't pay you a single cent, right? But we are doing it happily, for them. We say, sharing food, that's, where we go and things like that. But think about it, if today you're actually running as the restaurant owners, right? And if you want your customers to actually help you to promote it even further, you can actually offer them in terms of affiliates model. Affiliate, this is what we call. When someone is just posting out your picture, your food restaurant, the food pictures, right, on their Instagram, on their on their Facebook itself, usually this is what people will ask. If the food really looks very delicious, right? And this is what you do, right? You ask, hey, where do you eat? Recently, the restaurant, the food looks good, And when the moment that people ask, we are happily just share, it's actually at KL Wela, or PJ Wela or things like that, right? But you don't get paid from that. But what happened is that if, let's say, the restaurant is actually offering you for the affiliates, when people is asking you, you can just say that, it's actually from this restaurant. I recently just went there. The food's, I tested, so, it's quite good. And if you're interested, you can just go to this restaurant and you give them the link. And if let's say they, or maybe a coupon code, I think offline affiliate link doesn't work because, you can't purchase it online. But you can actually have a special generates a coupon code. Yeah. So when I actually share out, people will be using my code. So when the moment that they go to the retail restaurant and dine in, right, for a certain minimum number of spend. Yeah. So then after that, they can actually apply my coupon code. From there, the new peoples that go there also happy because I get a special discount. And at the same time, the restaurant owners will be able to use a very, very minimal marketing budget. And you can just reach out to, a wide group of people.
Yeah, if you look into what business always do, right, they have this card, right? And they have the 10 shops, correct or not? If you get the 10 shops, you get a free drink or free food. Have you seen this before, right? Now, that is good, but when we digitize the business, why not have an app, a simple app? How much will the app cost like that? 5,000 ringgit, you can get it done. 10,000, I'm not sure. I think 5 to 10,000 around there, yeah? Something like that where you can capture the name of the people, you can capture the name of people who recommend, and you can capture the people who recommend and actually bring people. So when you have all this tracking, you will right now know who is your customer, who buys from you, who eats at the most time, and only last time used to be big giants who have all these data, right? But right now, businesses, even small businesses like us, like mine, can also have all this data at place. So I'm not talking about online business. I'm just talking about the physical business, how they can go digitize. So when you think about all these things, it's just all common sense, but you're just digitizing. So it doesn't have to be so complicated. Whatever that you're doing is whatever you're doing. If you're last time spending 20,000 on retail, I'm just asking you to spend 20,000 on online, which is going to give you better results. I'm not asking you to do anything different, but that is how businesses has to think today, because things are all changed. People, if cannot come to the shop right now, if still cannot come to the shop in the next 6 months to a year, so you don't have to pivot everything to be online. No need. One channel of distribution of your food goes online. Another can go offline. So when things are better, right now you have two. Same like DMC. Just to share with you how DMC, yeah. DMC always offline. It makes good money. You never think of anything. Never think of anything. Always offline. Good. Now what happens? We have offline, we have online, and not only offline, we have multiple streams of online income. So maybe I'll just share a little bit there. Making money from AdSense, making money from YouTube ads, making money from ranking on a website and selling affiliates. So there's so many ways. There's so many ways for you to earn money on the internet, whether you are a business owner or an individual. And all the strategies that we're giving you, it is basically evergreen. It doesn't work for just one industry. It doesn't. Oh, Charles, you're online. That's why you know. No, it's not that. It's It works for all industries, almost all industries. Yeah, you just have to think a little bit. Of course, if you ask me now, difficult things like tourism, how difficult, right? Yeah, but if you think about it, even if tourism is difficult, what you should do now? Reskill, upskill to go online. How to fight the big boys, do SEO, prepare for the next 6 months. Things will hopefully recover, whether it's a short term, middle term, or you're looking at long term. But do you think that this is something that is very new? No, we have the Spanish flu, we have the Ebola virus, we have the upcoming future viruses, we have the recession that is coming in. Business who are resilient to all this, they will learn from the past. They will prepare for the present, not for the future. But they will also think of the future. But they will still think of now. Because right now, if you're still thinking of strategies and not implementing anything, I think you are in trouble. I'll be very direct with you, because it's almost what, 40, 50 days, Ravin? 50 days,
Yeah,
huh?
what else? Yeah.
If you still haven't found
Lockdown.
something, yeah, you
Yeah,
are in
but
very big trouble,
I
yeah?
want to,
Mm.
one thing I want to highlight is over right here, because whenever that people are talking of like digitalization of their business or going online and things like that, it seems to be a very big words, and a lot of businesses, they tend to plan a lot before they actually execute. It's like a superb, a very, very big plan. And when the moments that after they finish planning, right, it actually takes a long, long time for them to actually really execute that out. But digital marketing, we are looking at a few different areas. Like, for example, Facebook by itself is one area. Instagram by itself is another area, right? Having a website is another area as well. So instead of you actually plan every single thing, might as well you start something first. The main things over right here is how long you get yourself, your business to be appear online and exposure online. How long? If your competitor is taking only 1 month periods of time for they themselves to get exposure online, but you are taking, let's say, 3 months to 6 months time, you're basically losing out quite a lot already. And we are talking of like internet changes so fast. You won't be able to know, when your computer is going to jump into internet, and when it hits on internet, we are not looking at just one region, one area. We are looking at internet is borderless, the whole nationwide or perhaps cross nation as well. Yeah. So start something better than not doing anything.
So I will definitely give these slides to y'all, no problem. These slides I will share to y'all later. So right now I will invite Wesley and Dato back to their show, because it's their show, and they will take over. Yeah. If any questions, please do ask. Zevin and I will be here answering as much as we can. Yeah.
All right. So thank you very much for sharing that. So I was writing notes at the side. Okay, I'm also learning too. Okay, I want to take this chance here to say hi to our friends. We've got Elvin Chang, who's here. Elvin who's here. We have Fuzzy who's also here. Thank you very much, Ming Hong, for joining. Tan Wei Jin for here. All right, so Natalie says, agree, create long-term build relationship will have advantage with the client. Natalie says that. All right, so and over to Facebook. So we have some friends saying hi. We've got Jen Lim saying hi. Rash saying hi. Rash say yes. These are all business owners as well. Okay, so so for those of you here watching this right now, if you do have any questions, perhaps you can drop your questions at the comment section at the side, and we would love to just take some questions to address to both Zevin and Charles here right now. Okay, so as we're waiting for the questions to come, right? So we do have some questions in mind. Okay, so the Zevin and Charles, so you talk about all businesses can be digitized, right? So my question to you is: are there some businesses that you think are tougher in terms of digitization? Yeah,
Of course.
what would it be?
If you're looking at manufacturing, yeah, it's going to be a different ball game, yeah. But manufacturers and all these, if you ask me, how can they digitize? Can actually, it is not that difficult because right now a lot of businesses, their business model is they produce something and they go to middlemen. Correct? They go to retails. Can I say that? But the problem is now retails cannot open, so a lot of them actually came to us and said, "Hey, I can produce, but I don't want to sell direct because I will kill my retail." True. So very simple, yeah. Very simple, yeah. The idea is don't use their brand, use a different brand. If you think about it, or a different edition, so that people will not be confused that hey, you are killing your own stuff. You don't cannibalize your own business. So that is one simple strategy that business a lot do. Another one, a dim sum manufacturer supplies to shops. Correct? Just to share, I feel all this I experience. Cannot do business, cannot manufacture. Hundreds of people cannot. All shops closed. What they do there? Very simple. They go to all the apps. They sell dim sum. They open a food channel, teach you how to steam dim sum, and then after that they sell the dim sum to you direct. So instead of supplying, they now supply directly to end customer. So manufacturing in a way can also pivot. Of course, if you ask me, like if I'm making rocket engineering, how I have to think more lah. But can be done well. I just think that every businesses has already gone digitized. It's just at what stage they are already.
Okay. Okay, so interesting. So you talk about the possibility of the tougher but still can be done, right? So on the other spectrum, what are some businesses that can be easily being digitized?
Service industry, education,
Products as
Zevin?
well. If you're having some
Product.
products on retail, that's the easiest way for you to digitalize because you already have a physical product with you. The only thing is that you just need a channel for you to distribute out your products. Yeah, so a lot of people that have been focusing on like especially retail, walk-in customer and things like that. So that's the moments that you can actually tap into e-commerce and things and live commerce as well. So I believe that's one of the biggest now on Facebook is basically the case studies of Cameron Veggie. So what happened is because Cameron Highlands, there's no one visiting Cameron Highlands, right? And also at the same time, when they supply to the markets over here as well, some of the market is also not operating. Yeah, so what happens to them? They actually convert that into Facebook selling, and they actually getting orders directly online, so that they can actually channel their veggie directly from Cameron Highlands, all the way to the end user. Yeah.
I think this is very simple, but yet sometimes also quite difficult to actually determine at which level or which part of your business that you want to digitalize, especially when it comes to education as well. But again, for that, I will consult you on my personal level. So I want to ask this next question, right? So I think one main taboo that a lot of people are afraid of going, because you previously, I remember you mentioned that people has been cheated before, there was no results, But I think the other part that people may not be aware of is, do they really actually need to hire somebody that, the professionals, So is there a taboo that, I must have somebody which is good in IT or even good in digital marketing in my team in order to actually start transforming my business? So what do you think about this?
I share first, yeah. So to me, one of the best ways in which I always practice, you always hire one of the best in the industry, the consultant, so that you get everything, like download everything, and then from there you ask the consultant, can I build a team that what we have shared? So a good consultant will say, sure, I will guide you on how to build a team, because you don't want to be dependent. Listen, as a business owner, you don't want to be dependent on anyone else to run your business. And that's where the problem is, because a good consultant will always guide you and teach you how to do things. Not say that, I hold a hosting, I hold your domain. The moment you are not paying me, I screw you up. And that is wrong. And that is what I believe is also wrong. But a person that say, I'm doing this for you. If you still want me, this is my fee. But if you're not, you can invest. This is the output for 12 months, 1 year, 3 years from now. How much expenses? This is if you think it's cheaper to hire me long term, come. If you think it's cheaper for me to train you, come. So that is a consultant job. It's not like to hold a business. And I see a lot of digital marketers because I'm one also of them. So I speak for my industry and I know my industry very well. Some businesses, they depend on these people, marketers.
Yes,
And the moment they stop paying, thank you very much, they just get lost. And your whole business chunk just stop operating, which is very dangerous. And I believe Zervin always mentioned about this, that let her talk, your business in the middle. And she always will talk about this, which is very interesting.
Yeah. To me on towards to these points, right? Whether or not you're going to have an IT professional or things like that, but you don't need to be expert in that industry itself, but you make sure that you need to have at least a basic knowledge and or basic understanding and overview of what is needed for your business, especially for a business owner. Because this is very, very important, because if you don't understand the big picture of how digital marketing will be able to have an impact to your business, you won't be able to strategize as well. You won't be able to give directions to your team as well. So as a business owner, you need to have at least a basic understanding and a big picture on how it works and how it will actually help your business. And then right after that, you work with another team. Be it you want to build it in-house, or you work with another, agency or consultant to actually execute that thing out. So you don't really need a technical person per se in your company, but you need to know and you need to understand where is the direction. Because a lot of the time, this is where we encounter of when we are consulting some clients and we ask them, what is the objective of you going online? And 9 out of 10 of them can't really answer exactly deep down, the breakdowns itself. The only thing is just that, because my competitor go online, so I feel, being threatened in a way. I also want to go online, or I feel that everyone is talking on going on Facebook online and things like that. So I also want to do. But why they really want to do and what exactly is the strategy they're going to go online and how different they are going to position themselves online, all this a lot of business owners, they actually didn't really go through and think through. So what will happen is that when they jump online and competitor is also online, it makes no difference between you two. So it will go into, price war, I throw price, 10 cents lower, 1 ringgit lower, and things like that. So, yeah.
This is a very good example, right? So that's where people actually don't know why they are going in to do certain things. For example, even I myself, sometimes I also don't know why I'm doing certain things. When I first started FB Live, I also don't know why I want to do FB Live. So it's just that I thought, okay, let's start building presence, and that was the beginning, right? So I totally actually resonate with. I think a lot of people out there as well. They are still clueless. I think that's why we have you both again today, to actually exactly tell us. This is the next question that I really want to ask, right? So for company that have zero knowledge, right? They don't know what to do, and they say, yes, I want to go and start this. What are some things that they actually need to do first? Is it to learn? Learn, I'm sure, but what? And then, or is it that they can just go in and build a website, or they should get an audit first on whether what they should, certain steps, because I think different company may have different stage. So can you tell our audience what are some very clear steps that they should first do and take in order to start this journey?
Okay. We do have an audit system in place where basically we audit you in terms of your technicality, your understanding, your product, your services, whether people know about it. So basically, most of the time, 9 out of 10 will say, I want more sales on the internet. That's what they want. So if you want more sales, good. Then how do you position yourself? Like what Zervin mentioned just now. After you position yourself, and then what is so attractive, and then you have the mechanism on collecting money, delivering the product, delivering the services. So there's a lot of components here. Like I said also, Dato, it all depends on the individual. So a good audit system will determine where you need to start. Because some is very easy. Some like maybe the dim sum, because they already got delivery, they already got the packaging. So for them to go online instantly. But a small retail who always depend on people and they just do packaging like the 10-cent package, and they just they give. They don't even have a styrofoam. I mean, we don't use styrofoam anymore. The what you call it, the plastic, is it? Yeah, to deliver packaging so that the Grab or the Food Panda can deliver. They don't have that. So it all depends on the stages. So a good marketer, a good consultant will always look at all. Then only we can advise you. So that is my take. And we never have an audit system. If you don't have an audit system, and just say that, oh, use Facebook, good, use this, good. But after you get the sales, even if you get the sales, I will say to some customer, please do not spend your money to destroy your business. Does it make sense? An advertisement, yeah, they spend so much money to be everywhere, and they just destroy your business. Yeah.
Yeah, so to add on Charles, basically, you will first start with the audit itself. So to understand what are the parts that you're actually lacking. Okay, so then only we will see how to strategize, because some people will actually ask us which platform is actually the best. And this question is basically is very subjective in terms of your business in that industry. Some business, Facebook will work best for you. Some business, Instagram will work best for you. Some business, Google will work best for you. So we don't have a standard answer towards to that. But we need to understand, first of all, your industry. Second, your current existing customers, their profile. Who is your current target customer from that? Then only we can actually advise you which channel for you to go into. So the first step itself, right after your audit, understanding what are the things that you need, then only we will strategize on which to go in, where to go in, and also at the same time, before we actually execute every single strategies, right? Second part of it, I'm looking at some much more important is setting the expectation. You need to be educated in terms of what are the results that you'll be getting with the effort that you're putting in. Because sometimes people will be talking of like, they think digital marketing is like magic, So when the moments that you are spending, like 5 figures in your offline marketing itself, and when you come to online, you are suddenly, you're scared of spending the budget. And when we are advising you to spend like 1,000, then you'll be like, wow, 1,000 2,000 1,000, can I get 1,000,000 sales from there? Things like this we need to gauge in terms of the expectation, or else this is what happened. Because when we I think there's some question first started itself, right, in terms of like, is digital marketing works for your business? This question, it will really depends on the expectation and the budgets and the efforts that we are putting in, and the time that you spend in executing your marketing strategy. Because if today you are telling me that you are actually spending only 1 day of your efforts, and then you're expecting, a very big return from there, it might not. But it's some things that digital marketing, we have something short-term strategy. We also have something is long-term strategy as well. But it requires time for you to see the result. So sometimes when people say that, hey, it doesn't work, it might not because of it doesn't work. It could be because of the reason is yet to see the result. The result yet to come in. It needs some time to actually build up the traction from there. But when the moment the traction starts running, you'll be able to see a rolling effect from there already. So a lot of people, they are not, you have to, one word that I always say to even my team or my students, that you tahan. You need to make sure that you tahan until you see that. Then the moments after, you'll be able to see, pretty much a very interesting result coming in.
Can I just add to that? I don't understand why in the offline business, when people hire salesmen, maybe Wesley can help me a little bit, and they invest in so much to build a salesman, to groom the salesman, and then after that 3 months cannot work, it's okay, you can go, new salesman comes in, still continue. But when it comes to digital, first month I pay you 2,000, I must have 10,000 sales. Do you see why is it like that? I don't know what's the expectation, where it went wrong. Because in my over 10 years in digital marketing, I've never expected that. I've never teach this before in my life, which I don't know why businesses suddenly they invest months to close a deal. But the moment they go to LinkedIn, hey, 2 days, why no results? It's like expectations completely different, which I don't know why people think that digital maybe can cut short. I definitely think it can cut short. But will it be a magic tool for you in marketing? No.
Yeah, I think just to give a comment on Charles, what you said is it's true. Even I think that one is because, like what Zevin has said, the result, maybe the result is a little bit different because in digital, they may not be able to feel it or see the result. You see, because to them, engagement or to them, people who like or people who follow you does not translate to business. This is just my suggestion. I'm just thinking that the result is not immediate. So people may feel that, oh, I'm spending 1 month, 2 months, painful. So, like what Zevin said, maybe need to tahan. But salesperson, that is straightforward, right? They just need to walk in. They just need to do the sales. If you don't do the sales, thank you very much. Bye-bye. See you next year. So when they do the sales, the checks will come in, the payments will come in. So I think this is why. That's why one is a immediate result, and maybe one is something that you are building towards to. That may not have an immediate result. Maybe that's just my thinking, right? So Wesley, over to you.
All right. So interesting part. So why people expect instant result online and not hiring salespeople? Probably because salespeople is somebody that you can see, meet, touch, talk, engage every single day. Again, this is my biased answer. Probably, right? Okay. So let's go on. Interesting question here. We have to Zevin and Charles. We got somebody asking you. Natalie says, plan for purpose objective. There's a question by Calvin. He says that, what about signboard advertising to go online? What's your take on this?
You mean a physical signboard?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, if I understand that correctly, it basically means that sometimes when we go to some website, if we're able to see, there's actually banner on the website, is that the signboards, advertising? Oh, signboard advertising. You're saying that traditional offline. Yeah, I see. The signboard advertising to go online, pretty much, because right now, if you're talking of like the billboards and all those kind of thing, is offline out there, right? And they only focusing on people that is actually driving and passing by the signboard. I mean, the billboard itself, right? Correct. But if we are talking of online, is pretty much very different. Two things here. I'm not too sure Calvin is actually asking from the perspective of the business. So should the signboard advertising business go online or the client side? So it's a customer that's placing the advertisement on, traditional offline signboard to go online, advertise or whichever. Calvin, can you just help me to answer on that? Is a, business on signboard advertisings or the clients?
Okay, so while we wait for Kelvin to come back to us on that, so I have this very important question that I hope that Zevin and Charles can help me to enlighten our audience, right? So is there, okay, you see, this is the other part which I'm also very confused sometimes in terms of rates, right? So there are a lot of because it's definitely different companies have different rates, and so these are also the things that are prone to people not being comfortable or undecisive or where to go to. Some are cheap, some are poor, some are expensive, so they don't know. So can you tell us, maybe you can also do a reference on DMC's services. So what are some of the standard market rate on, what type of services? And maybe you can give examples of services and what are some rates that is acceptable in the market. For example, like building a website or building an e-commerce website, doing an SEO. Maybe can you share with our audience?
Sure. Just to give you a ballpark figure, yeah. Not exactly, yeah. So sure. a normal company website, just a company website, is about 3,500 to 5,000 ringgit, yeah. That is quite standard in the market. Of course, higher agency will charge higher. SEO, we usually charge about 10 keywords. They come in a package. You don't do one, they do about 10 to 20 keywords. It ranges from 10,000 to 30,000 a year. Because it's a long-term strategy, it's not a one-month thing. So it's about there, yeah. If you're setting up your social media, some people says that I help you manage your social media. It's about 2,500 ringgit to 4,000 ringgit on a monthly basis. The argument is this: if I can hire someone to do it, I don't need you. So the same price, 2,000 to 4,000 ringgit range here. Of course, if you go into e-commerce, you mentioned e-commerce can be easily about 15,000 ringgit together with the online payment, yeah, all these things. So to me, it can also varies very high depending on what you provide the services to the customer. Because end of the day, I like to ask this to a customer: if I can help you achieve from your point A to point B, how much are you willing to pay to see the results? So it's not more towards just doing the work for you, but actually why you invest. Always ask back why you invest. You invest because you want to see results. So if this is something that is good for you, like for example, yeah, we are investing for next year, YouTube, SEO. So we are willing to spend 100,000 a year for these businesses. Why? Simply because we believe that in the next year we can make probably about 120,000 USD in a year. So 100,000 convert to 120,000 USD. So that is our investment, but we have the skill set. So it's a little bit different because you have the investment of the setup and the investment of the skill set, the people. So if you can cover these two and still make money, then it's even easier for you. So if you don't have the skill set, learn the skill set. Does it make sense? Because at the end of the day, you don't invest or treat it as expenses. You treat it as investment. Then your mindset will be different, because if you know you can invest and you can get someone to help you to see results. But again, a disclaimer: in any investment, there's also times that there's a risk. Can I say that?
Yeah.
So maybe you don't get 8%, maybe you don't get 10% return of investment, maybe you lose. So that's where the expertise of the person that's helping you to go to one level to another level plays a very important role.
Yeah.
So,
Right.
so I give you
Okay.
the ballpark figure. Yeah.
Right, so these are very informative rate that we have, ranging from website, again, SEO and all, right? Okay, so so Zevin, so Kevin responded, yes, the business go online for the signboard.
Yeah, so the concept is basically the same. If you are selling signboard, billboard offline, you are basically selling the traffic right there as well, right? How many times the people will be passing by, if you are actually getting what do you call that? It's a federal highway billboard, the rate will be very expensive as compared to maybe, I don't know, like some other area that lesser people passing by. So the rate will be different. So same concept. If you are putting it online, earlier when I start my the presentation itself, I gave an example in terms of like the Star newspaper, Malaysia Kini, this kind of website. How do they make money? They are selling the slot, the banner slot on their website as well. Yeah, so on top there, there's banner, on the side there's banner. So the concept is basically the same. Signboard, but online version, it converted into the banner. So these kind of websites, two things you need to focus. One, you need to make sure that your website has huge number of traffic. Okay, in terms of you need content to drive people to come. Be it you use it the organic way. Organic way will be coming out with articles. Then after that is you actually ranking on Google so that people can find your website from there. Second, you can actually spend some advertisement money to actually drive the traffic from there. But whatever traffic that you are driving, you need to make sure that you're actually generating a profit instead of a negative right there. So your advertisement strategy right there need to be, very, very strong. Okay, so this is the first part. Now, second part of it is more towards to how do you monetize your website. Once the moment that you have traffic, right, people, in terms of advertiser, they will be willing to come to you and say that, hey, I want to place my advertisements on your website because you have traffics. Yeah, you have people's viewing, and I mean real people, not robot, not fake traffics. You need to make sure that it's actually real audience is actually visiting your website. Okay, from there, advertiser will be willing to place. Now, what kind of monetization or income model that you can do? Two ways. One is basically you yourself go and find advertiser. Advertiser, you're willing to put advertisements, right? This is how I'm going to charge you on monthly basis. I charge you per month, this rate, and I charge based on view. I know that, okay, my website, I got 100,000 with visitors. So I will be able to give you, let's say, 1,000 views on your banner. Okay, so you charge based on per view basis for 1 month. Second, you can actually work with Google. Okay, you can actually become Google partner, and Google partner, the advantage is that Google will be the one that help you to get all the advertisers. What you need to do? You do nothing. Basically, you just need to focus on the website, content, and traffic, and Google will get you all the advertisers, and Google will share with you the the income, the advertising's income from that.
Yeah, I actually just shared a $1 million homepage. Was done by many years ago, I think 10 years ago. This guy was selling 1 million pixel, 1 million banner on his website. And each banner he sell $1. And he actually got 1 million, and the newspaper took it up. It was an old story, but it's good that reminded me on this. Yeah. Now, to go a little bit more advanced, if you need traffic, there's something called, if for those who are a little bit advanced, yeah, there's something called arbitrage method. Arbitrage method is you buy cheap traffic to sell higher expensive traffic. So what do I mean by cheaper traffic? Find the people. Again, go back to the people. You see, if you understand your network so well, you understand that people, like certain group of people, will buy this, will buy this, will buy this. The pattern cannot run one. So what I mean is this. I'll give you an example. For example, I like to eat this. For example, whatever is this, I just say. And this is eaten only by rich people who have 20,000 salary a month. Does it make sense to you? 20,000 salary a month will buy a bigger house, correct or not? But you don't promote the house per se, because the advertisement for expensive, luxurious house is damn expensive. But you know that all people who earn 20,000 and above a month will eat this. What you do is you promote this to get a database of this. But the people is the same. Does it make sense to you?
Yep.
Is it too complicated? No.
Okay.
The people is the same. The persona, the target market, birds of the same feather flock together. So if you use an arbitrage method, you get this kind of people who eat this. Also at the same time, they will buy a house or they buy a car that is higher luxury level. So this is what we call the arbitrage method. Only if you know your customer very, very well. So that is something that you can learn. Because if you just say want to sell expensive house, 100 people outside there also sell the expensive house, competition goes up very high. Do you see the angle that I'm teaching you? So the same angle, if you are selling a banner, you're not actually selling the banner. Think about it. You're not selling the space. You're selling something else. So who is your target market? How do you reach it to them? So I gave you $1 million homepage, a beautiful story. You can reverse engineer it, and you can learn more from it. Yeah, definitely you can use the same method that he used.
Right. Thank you very much for the answer. So I hope that Kelvin, Zevin, and Charles addressed your answer for that, right? Okay, so you talk a lot about, so let's make it the last question, so because time is like 1 hour plus. Okay, so the last question would be, so since you talk a lot about investing in knowledge, right? So personally from DMC, what are some courses they can first sign up to start learning? Because there's so many out there. Yeah.
I think most people want sales, correct or not? Sales, yeah. So we do have a certification program on just focusing on sales, yeah. More towards like using Facebook, SEO, search engine optimization, building a landing page, so you generate traffic. Because whatever that you do, if you have no traffic, that's it, yeah. So it's a very important skill to invest on, is to generate traffic. So there's only a few methods you can use here, very few. Google is one of it. Social media is second of it. I think beside these two, is there any others? Maybe you say Bing a little bit, maybe Yahoo. But I think social media and Google is good enough. Then you break it down a little bit more. Google, we got search engine, we got ads, yeah. Social media, depending on this one Zamin mentioned, the target market, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, yeah. So, but the fundamental is always the same. Once you understand how to generate traffic, you wouldn't have a problem in your business. I foresee that, because not only you can do business locally, if you have this skill set, you want to go international, also can. Think about it. If a skill set that you can go online, you are not defined by a space. Does it make sense to you? Right now, like we are always physical. Do training, open a business. Do training, open a business. But now we went online. They are no longer defined by physical space. So that is something that what DMC can do for you. I think we do have a workshop on Sunday. If you are keen on it, I think we can share the link maybe later.
Yeah,
A
sure.
workshop to talk about all the skill sets. Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you very much for that, Charles and Zevin. Okay, so just before we end this show here today, right? Is there any last advice that you have towards our audience watching this?
Okay, like I mentioned earlier, to me, because during these periods of time, we do see that there's actually a lot of people started live session, throwing out a lot of like webinar, sharing our topic and things like that. And we do see that there's actually a lot of people hopping around on all these workshops and things like that to get information, right? But getting information is definitely very, very good. Okay, it's good for your personal development and things like that. But my advice to you guys is still having the knowledge alone is not enough. You need to ensure that you actually take the action to implement. Then only you will be able to see the results. Results will only come after implementation. So yeah, start something better than nothing.
All right. So thank you very much in terms of the focus on implementation over information. All right, Charles, you want to say anything?
No, take the slides, digest, go through it, think for your business, because end of the day, you are responsible for your own business. I believe so. No one else can help you. End of the day, you are responsible for it. So whatever that you do, if you need help, there's always DMC to help you in terms of digital marketing. So feel free to engage our website or our LinkedIn. Both of us are on LinkedIn. Just Google our name. LinkedIn our name. You will see us, and just ask anything. We'll definitely help you from there.
All right, good. Okay, so thank you very much for your time. Thank you, Zevin and Charles, for coming this show. Okay, so Lawrence, you want to say anything to our audience watching this?
Oh yes, thank you so much, and Charles and Zevin. You have actually, see, I'm also stuck now already, right? From all this, whatever that you have shared just now. So I think I have so much to also learn from both of you on all this digital marketing, because this is something that I have actually never looked into until because of MCO, right? So to DMC, thank you so much again. I think it's also our privilege in Prentice to work with you on a lot of our initiatives. So thank you for spending our time, and for our audience, thank you so much for being with us again.
All right, so thank you very much for that. And again, just do a very quick shout out. So, so in case I think Charles, you say that they can get a copy of these slides, I'll tell all of you how to do that later. So just before we end, so we got one tradition of taking a group picture. So because today's Zevin is here, I mean Charles, Lawrence we took before, but okay, so we have Zevin here today. So we're gonna do a double thumbs up, and we're gonna take a group picture. So just look in front as I'll be taking a snapshot. So ready, 1, 2, 3. All right. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much, Charles and Zevin. It's been a pleasure hosting both of you here on this show. I will have to remove both of you from this. And then I got some announcements for audience watching this. And again, thank you so much for your time. One more time, Charles and Zevin. For those of you who have benefited, say thank you. Show us your love to Zevin and Charles. And thank you very much for that. I'm going to remove you one by one. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. So, and Lawrence, thank you so much for joining the show here today. So, do you have any announcements for our friends?
Yeah, I think I also will leave this special announcement to you. I think this is something that you are very excited to share what is going to happen tomorrow. So again, I just want to wish our audience thank you so much. Continue to stay safe. And tomorrow is actually a big day, an important day for MyPrentice Sales and Marketing Breakthrough Week. I'll leave the honor to you. So for others, hopefully to see you also. Take good care.
All right, thank you very much. I'm going to remove you, Lawrence. All right, thank you. Okay, so here we have here today. Thank you very much, Stephen, for joining. Charles, we hope that it's helpful for you. All right, so for those of you watching, thank you so much. You got me saying thank you very much for joining here as well. We are honored. We are glad. Hopefully, it helps you today. All right, so for those of you here, what I have announcement is that number one, I'm going to guide you how you can get the summary or the slides from Charles and Zevin. So, so this is the link there, tiny.cc/sales and marketing. And not only you'll be getting the summary, which is the slides from Charles and Zevin, we will also be sending you an ebook on the next 14 days on Sales Breakthrough Action Plan, on what you can do day 1, day 2, day 3, until day 14 for you to achieve your breakthrough in sales and marketing as well. So that's one. Number two as well, we would also like to welcome all of you here to also help us to follow our social media. So help us to like, share, and also like and share this post. Help us to follow us, also to like here, my Apprentice Facebook page, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter, as we continue to provide more value for you. And also here we have the Telegram channel as well. So I'd like to invite all of you here to join our community as we continuously dedicate ourselves to provide you latest information, SME, businesses, digital marketing, sales and marketing. So provide knowledge to people who want, especially in times of crisis like this. So what Lawrence has mentioned is that we will have our little show tomorrow, right? So tomorrow at 10:30, we're going to have a session called Ask Me Anything. Right. So tomorrow it's like our last day for the Sales and Marketing Breakthrough Week Volume 3. So tomorrow itself, we will dedicate an open Q&A session in regards to sales and marketing. So to address any of your concerns, questions, especially in the areas of sales, I'll be addressing these questions. All right. So join us tomorrow at 10:30 as we have the Ask Me Anything Q&A session to help you do sales and marketing breakthrough as well. All right, so with that, I want to say thank all of you for your time. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for your continuous support. Wow, today's like the longest I've ever had, right? So it's 1 hour, 20 minutes of good content by Charles and Zevin. So with that, everybody, thank you so much for your time. We hope to see all of you again very, very soon tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, stay at home, and good night. Until then, signing off, Wesley Chan from My Apprentice. Bye-bye.